Alrighty then, as part of this angler collaboration with 9 Acre Family Farm, I am going out in my kayak and it is 52 degrees with high winds. But you gotta do what you gotta do when you're part of a collaboration. So I am heading out and the tide is coming in. I have to paddle into that incoming tide to get to my honey hole. So that's what I do. So there are some windy parts in this. I certainly can't help that, but it is sunshiny, very nice day, except for the high wind. So let's get to paddling. So this is my honey hole. If you see that large oyster bed, where my boat is a deep channel, and that's where I'm going to drop my jig head with a mullet steak on it. I catch mullet off of my dock. I slice them into steaks, drop them into little 8 to 10 packs in my chest freezer, and then I always have bait available. So I'm going straight over to that wall of Spartina. I'm going to grab a chunk of that Spartina, put it under my foot, and push it onto my footrest. That usually holds me from a large fish, redfish, black drum, dragging me around through here. So we'll see how that goes. So I enjoy this. Everyone has a honey hole where they fish, and this is mine. Usually it's a never fail spot. But I do have to back into it. Sometimes I have to park sideways, and again, I've got really big wind, so I have to see how it goes. It did not take long for the tip of my rod to go straight down, and I was very convinced that this was a huge stingray, which I do not love catching, much less in my kayak. It just would not come off the bottom, and it was just bending my rod, and it was so powerful that it ripped the Spartina that was under my foot and my foot being pushed into my footrest. So pretty soon I'm going to start to free float, and I may end up all the way at the other end with this monster on my jig head. I have 20-pound test line. I don't use a leader of a knuckle dragon, fisher chick. I have different honey holes. This is my favorite generally. It's the first one I come to, and I generally score here. So I still cannot tell what it is, and I am convinced it is a huge stingray. Stop it. Don't do it. Is very close to breaking my pole, and it's at this moment that I realize it is not a stingray, it is a bull red drum. This is the strongest fish I have ever rumbled with, and my old lady arm was tired. And if you've ever wondered what it's like to not have depth perception because I'm blind in one eye, you're fixing to see what it looks like when you're trying to use a net to get it in head first. Not having depth perception is quite amusing at sometimes. Other times it'll cause you to lose your fish. But it is what it is, and regardless, I get out here and get to fishing. Holy cow. Stop it. Okay, this is going to be rough. I literally struggled to pick it up and hold it up. So I'm going to insert a cell phone video I did when it was laying in my lap. That will help. And now I am heading home. I did completely revive him and get him back in the water. I didn't have to poke his little belly to let him sink down. But my goodness, that was a fun catch. So the rules of this collaboration is you're supposed to feature a meal with what you caught, whether it was a crab or a fish. Ooh, and that's the other thing I learned, is the crabs have arrived. As Paulie D would say on Jersey Shore, cabs are here. I came back and told Vern, crabs are here, because I could feel them nibbling on my bait at sometimes. So I won't be able to feature a meal, but I will put a link in my description of 3 years ago, because what I usually do with redfish, the way I like it, is we make hobo packs. Put our dehydrated potatoes on the bottom, lots of butter, lemon juice, the fish itself, and then cook them on the grill or the oven. So anyway, it was windy, and my old lady arms just had to paddle home, but this time with the wind at my back. But a link to a video in the description of how I prefer to cook my redfish catches. And I catch plenty.